welcome back to the garden. So it struck me that I haven't really done like a normal sort of day in the garden sort of vlog, you know, what sort of things I get up to, my thoughts behind things. So I'm just going to throw a little vlog together of you know, maybe of an hour in the garden, just showing you what my thought process is and the jobs that I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. So without further ado, let's get into the vlog. So this is my big yellow Brugmansia. So as you can see here, it's dropped all of its leaves, had a bit of a shed, and normally when this happens it just means that they're starved of nutrients. So I fed it and fed it and fed it, but the pot is far too small. So what I need to do is get a bigger pot. In order for me to do that, I've got to have a bit of a shuffle around, find a big enough pot. There will be something in that pot, replant that, and then do that. So that's my first job this afternoon. So let's get into it. So we are coming to the end of September and the garden is looking a bit scruffy in places. This is one of them. But if you know me by now, you know that I've got a lot of pots in the garden that you can't actually see due to my planting. But I need this pot right here. So currently it's got a burgundy red rose in, burgundy red, and I need this pot. So this rose is actually gonna go in the ground. So let's get into that. The absolutely brilliant thing about nasturtiums, and this is why I love them so much, is because I can't even count the amount of seed pods that it's chucked in this pot, let alone in the ground down here. So this is why I end up with lush planting like this with all my nasturtiums, because they're just such good self-seeders. I highly recommend them. So I think the easiest way for me to get into this is actually just go grab my spade and dig it out of the pot. Pull it out, might release some compost but not all of it, and then we'll get the pot out. So when digging anything up or transplanting anything, I always take into account, if you're digging something up and you're cutting through the root ball, then you're going to lose some root system, okay? So in order to compensate that, then you're going to have to lose some growth. And like I say, we're at like end of September now, so the main roses aren't that far away from their sort of winter prune, which isn't a heavy prune like a springtime prune. It's quite a large one. So I am going to take off about maybe 1/3 of the growth on top, okay, and it will compensate from that. So when it gets potted up, okay, it doesn't really need to have much nutrient. The most important thing it is as a bucket load of water. Alright, so my secateurs may look rusty, but I can assure you that they are nice and sharp, because I've just sharpened them and they have been cleaned as well, so don't worry about that. It's always a good idea to clean yours. I use what was the last thing I used? I used some hydrogen peroxide, like it's a food grade sort of disinfectant, but you can use bleach or anything like that to give them a good clean down. I'm going to take these small ones off here, that big one off there, large one off the back. As you can see, they're nice and sharp. Let me get rid of the old stuff and see what we've got. Now here's the thing with pruning it this time of year in the autumn. It doesn't have to be down to leaf nodes and all that sort of technical stuff, because you'll be pruning them again in the spring. So they will come from that point. If you ever do see growth in the spring that sort of comes from there and you have all this stick left on there, it's because someone has obviously pruned it in the wrong place. So like me, it doesn't really matter, but in springtime, okay, I would be looking at coming down to a leaf node like that, taking it off there. There we have it, that's the rose. That's going to be put to bed for the winter, so that's that. So number one ticked off. So number two, it's all about that. I need that big pot for my next big job. That is destined for my big yellow Brugmansia. This is going to be heavy. It was heavy. So next job, I'm not going to take all this compost out, but what I am going to do is I'm going to give it a new lease of life. So I'm going to add some seaweed feed and some chicken manure, give it a good mix up, and then that is going in there. Experience tells me that this will be root bound, okay, so I'm going to show you a good trick as to how to give the root system of your plant a really good new lease of life before it goes into another pot. So you can get your secateurs, sharp knife, sharp scissors, whatever you need. You can use multiple things as long as it's clean and it's sharp. Okay, and then you just score them. So we're not particularly cutting anything in. I'll give you a close-up. It's just encouraging. It's just encouraging the root ball just to find a new lease of life. See all them fibrous roots just sticking out. And then what happens is the plant tends to get in bad habits, and it will just go round and round and round. And this just makes it think about things a little bit. A brilliant trick. Used it 1,000 times, and it works every time. So you guys will have to let me know, do you play musical pots? Because all I seem to do is take one plant out of one pot, then another plant goes in the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. Because my next plan is I've got a couple of cordylines. So I planted 2 cordylines up, which I'll show you in a sec, at start of beginning of this season, and they've done fantastic, and I didn't do my other ones. And I should have done. So the plan is to get one of those done. Back end, the rest will be spring, so I'll show you those now. So I planted this one up in spring, and honestly they were like a $2.99 job from B&Q, and they were like probably 12 inches tall last year, beginning of last season, and then it looks incredible. So I've missed a trick really, but I guess it's all about budgeting. So I did 2, that one and that guy there, and I'll show you the ones I didn't do and you'll see the difference. So this is the one in front, obviously. This is the one that didn't get planted up, and it's just been in a border covered up by all the nasturtiums. Now you might think, oh, they're not too bad, they're not too far away, but the one behind is far superior, not only in shape and a little bit growth on top, but it's the actual stem itself is far thicker and a lot more healthy. So let me show you that. If you can tell the difference on there, but that one is much thicker, looks much healthier. So I'm going to go ahead, take all these yellow leaves off this cordyline, get it potted up. All I'm going to do with these cordyline brown leaves is just simply pull them off. You can cut them off, some people do that, but these come off ever so easy, and this is obviously what creates your palm tree looking effect. Let's get rid of that. Just like so. I'll get them in a new pot. Right. Killed 2 birds with 1 stone here. So, musical pots. I'll tidy this up exactly the same as this plant here, and then this plant is going to go into this pot, and then this plant is going to go into this pot. Am I the only one who does this? Right, so this one, as you can see, really good root system. You can score it with your finger, give it a tickle. I know I said anything sharp, but this will work exactly the same way, and that can go in there. Okay, I'll throw that in just a sec. Straight through to this pot. Again, root bound, let's give it a tickle. Tease all those roots out, and that will be going in that one. Get those planted up. So there we have it, potted up. And then this one, hefty pot, and I'm actually +1 for pots, big pots as well. So it's just me being a bit cheap, a bit tight, if you like. But if you've got a decent sort of plant hygiene, which I think from this I could probably say that I have, then it's absolutely fine to swap pots. You know, you might get the odd person saying, well, you know, you might have cross contamination, all that sort of good stuff. But let's be honest, this is your garden. You know, between cordylines and things, I really wouldn't worry. We're not swapping pots for canners and things like that, which hold viruses. And I'm over the moon, to be honest, because I'll show you in just 1 minute. But last spring, so 2022 spring, I bought these for $2.99, and they were about this big. Same for my bananas, tiny. And 2024 season is going to be amazing in this garden, and I've done it like on the cheapest possible budget. I've bought things small, I've been patient, with a bucket load of manure, but I'm really excited. So I'll just show you the couple of bits to end this vlog. I'm not doing any more because it's going to probably take me over an hour to clean up because I've got compost everywhere. I've got a mat on the lawn, which I divided some canners up on a different video, which I'll share with you guys. And it was just a video to sort of what I do in the garden when I have a bit of a session. So really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you've taken something from it, then please give it a big thumbs up. So until next time, I'll see you in the garden. Bye guys. Oh, what a mess. I don't show you down the bottom. Productive afternoon though. See ya.